I see a developer that put on. He said, "I've got to take some time off Twitter. Lines have been crossed." I was like, "That poor fucker. He's just made a game, and someone's probably threatening to kill his parents or kill his kids because fucking it's slightly not up to scratch."
Madness.
I think
Absolute.
that is fucking barbaric, isn't it?
I'll tell you what is barbaric also is having to send PlayStation 5s back because we're not happy with noises coming at the back of it. Sony, have they dropped a fucking bollock and released a broken bit of hardware? So a couple of weeks ago, those that listen regularly know, you sent back your PS5 because there was a buzzing noise. Through the research of 7 other Dimp members and affiliates, it appeared that everyone had a level of buzz, depending. It may have ranged in terms of like slight pitch and how noticeable it was, but you and Rodney decided that you wanted to test the waters, phoned up Sony, sent it back. They said, we'll have it back to you within 2 weeks. First of all, they got it back before Christmas. That's what the lovely Scottish lady said.
Before I say anything, I've got to say, well done to PlayStation, because, she told me 14 days.
Yep.
To the day, it was 13 days.
Well, there you go. Giving you a day extra.
Yeah.
And it helps because Cyberpunk come a day late, so they've slotted into a nice slot there where you could jump back on this.
It really was. So got it back, and
So, have we fixed this coil whine / buzzing, or is there still a buzzing noise? Have they actually done? Is it a new PlayStation, or is it the same one that's?
So that was a concern. She said on the phone that it was going to be a replacement, a direct replacement. I did wonder and thought because one thing I thought after I'd sent it, I thought, fucking hell, I ain't put anything in the box to say that I didn't put no receipts or anything.
It's Tom Adkins.
Yeah, that's it. I think they must have just known that
from the serial.
Hardly no fuckers got them, so they can't be lying. I ain't got it off the back of a fucking lorry. Well, people are nicking them off the back of lorries, but still.
They are.
So I suppose it's within the first year of manufacturing anyway, so they have to every warranty is going to be due, isn't it, I suppose. But anyway, yes. So I got an email to say that it's coming back, and luckily in that email it did tell me that it would be a new serial number, so I did get a completely new unit. Cool. And the final reveal is that sending it back was useless. It was a good bit of research, but unfortunately I came back. Fucking took me as a horrible. It came like about 10 or 11 in the morning.
Yeah. And
I was working all day, so I didn't get to fucking test it until about 5, 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got home, I booted it up. Straight fucking had to restore everything.
Oh, yeah.
I had a couple of issues at first, which I was like, oh, don't be an even worse console. It wouldn't... First things first, I tried a different lead, a USB-C lead to plug in the controller. It wouldn't take that, so it just wouldn't... when you first set it up, you have to turn the controller on. It just wouldn't take it.
Oh.
I was like, for fuck's sake, is the USB-B port broken?
Yeah.
Turns out you have to use the lead that is supplied with the PlayStation. And
I've modelled all mine up.
Fucking yeah. So I was like,
I've got the headphones, didn't I?
Oh, cool shit. It's annoying, but don't restart your thing.
Right. Secondly, then I won't rebuild the console.
No, do not rebuild. Secondly, then I tried to log into my account, and it kept coming up with some DNS server. So it's like I think that's when your fucking internet's playing up. I think this was due to Cyberpunk, to be honest. I think it's because every cunt under the sun was trying to download it.
Oh right, yeah, of course.
Jordan, friend of the show, he downloaded it from scratch. Obviously, no pre-install for him.
No.
He tried to install it. It took him 15 hours to install Cyberpunk.
Clean 15 hours.
Clean 15 hours. So couldn't log into my PSN, so it set up this user, just like a guest user account. It's like, right, fuck's sake, went through that. Then once I got into it, got the internet working, and then logged into my but then I had the two options, like, right, fucking hell, I want to get rid of that user now, I've got my one, but to then get rid of that user, because it was the main user, I had to fucking factory reset the PS5 again. I was like, for fuck's sake. Eventually turned the internet off, turned it back on again, and all was well.
Yes.
Then the elusive was like, right, here we go. Booted it up. Started with Astro because that was the first thing that installed.
Oh, yeah, it's there, isn't it?
And boom, back in, muted the telly, and I could hear it again. It's not anything. It's not. I'd like to say it's not as loud, but I think it's just where I've been listening to the fucking noise so much.
Yeah.
But certainly, it's not as egregious. It's because I've now put it down lower than it was on my wooden table.
Yeah.
I've now put it on the floor on a hardback book with a mouse mat underneath it, so that sort of dampens it a little bit. And yeah, it's still there. Like I say, I could hear it as soon as I booted up and muted the telly. I could still hear the buzz. I am 100% sure now that there is no such thing as a whisper silent PS5.
No.
Any of you who've been commenting on the channel, thank you for
They did. They went mental on the YouTube channel.
They did. Yeah, it was a good thing to do, really. Like it does sort of. It's interesting to hear people's experiences.
But you're lying, you cunts.
Yeah, but if there's anyone out there that claims that they haven't got this buzz, they're talking bollocks, because I've heard people say that and then they'll fucking put a microphone to it and I can hear it in the background and go, see, that's the fan.
I said the same. I think it's nothing there. And then it was. And
this is, again, like just repeating what I said last time, it's not as bad as I've made out. It is Rodney fucking going mental.
Yes.
And like I say, if I sit back from my thing, I do sit relatively close compared to most people. I sit exactly 6 foot away.
Yes.
And when I've got that telly up, I can't hear it, which is a good thing there. I've just got to live and get over it. I have seen one report, and it was a chap I was talking to on Twitter. He bought his PlayStation 5 on release. He had the same issue. Coil Whine, he said it drove him fucking mad. He actually then went and bought a new one. I don't know how he got a fucking second one off of Amazon. He lives in Mexico.
Jesus.
But apparently you can buy them over there.
Wow.
He bought a second one. He then claimed, he was with me. He was messaging people saying, look, you're claiming it's silent. You're talking bollocks. But he now claims, unless he's fucking gone mental himself, he's now claiming that his first one has magically stopped.
Oh.
He said, he said, I've used it literally every day for the last month. That's the thing, we've had these consoles a month now, unbelievably.
Yeah.
He said he used these literally every day for a month, and he said that it seems to have worn away the more you use it. And I have seen reports of that Coil Whine does get better with usage.
Yes.
So he's claiming his is magically, that was the quote, magically disappeared. And then he said his newest one he bought was fucking loudest thing he's ever heard. He said it was louder than the original. So it just sounds like this is the result of my findings, that they've all got it. It's something you've got to just get on with, and it sounds like over time it will dampen or it will just go out of your head. And that's the crux of Winegate. There is no fix until I don't know what they do. The trouble is after now having that PS5 disappear for 2 weeks, I've been left to play that, not left, but I've been playing that Series X. And that Series X, as much as it's got to play on it in terms of next-gen games and whatnot, that fucking console is whisper quiet.
Yeah.
I can't even hear that fan going unless I shove me ear.
It's an incredible bit of engineering, that little box.
It really is. And that's the only sad thing, that I think if that can do that for the exact same price, then why has that PlayStation not got? Why has it got this little buzz?
Yeah.
But like I say, you can send it back all you want. You get one back, it's going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So don't
unless
worry.
It's really egregious, don't bother. Is the advice?
Yeah. That's the video. I've seen a few videos where it's 10 times louder than mine. So there's obviously defects out there, but I don't think mine was. I think I was just too fixated on it. It probably would have gone away. But I'm quite glad I did it for research, because I've got it back. Sounds the same. It's just I've just sort of gotten on with it now. And to be honest, I've only played it once since I've got it back, which is
squeaking
the trouble.
Well, the other interesting thing is you've actually tried to do a bit of a DIY fix.
Yes, that was another test.
Do you want to take the audience through that because it hasn't sold well? you can tell people if it solved it or not. But you went and tried a little trick earlier on, which involved opening the bugger up. Was it a worthwhile endeavour?
Yeah, well, I found that when I was going through this Coil Whine gate and it consumed me, I was looking at every fucking video on the sun, and I come under one who claimed to have fixed it.
Yeah.
And what he done was use these rubber O-rings, they're called. You find them in any hardware store. Went down to B&Q today, and purchased a little pack, and quite easily it doesn't break any of your warranty or anything, because it's how you put the new extendable drive in. But what you can do is get a little screwdriver, unscrew your fan, and I put these little rubber washers in between, because what he said in the video, he said that it was like where the metal was touching the other metal of the sort of machine, like the inside component, that's where some of the vibration and Coil Whine was coming from. Well, I tried that, I opened it up, put that in, and to my ears, it sounded no different whatsoever.
Right.
So I'm not sure where this has come. I've seen reports that they reckon this buzz is coming from the actual power supply. So it's obviously it's nothing to do with the fan. I've seen people putting the fingers in the fan, stopping the fan. So it's nothing to do with the fan. It could be something to do with this power, but unfortunately, putting rubber washers in to sort of dampen noises doesn't do a great deal. So another bit of Rodney research that came to a failing result, unfortunately.
Well, that's a shame that the old PS5s ended up like that. Hopefully, those out there aren't suffering too much. And if you've got a noisy one, like Adkins has been through the system, it's pretty good, so you'll get it back in the time frames. But don't be going there expecting to cure it, I guess, is the answer.
No,
and don't be opening it up and trying these other things, because it doesn't seem to be working either. But
it's not worth it. No, I think you just got to get on with it, take it for what it is. Unfortunately, like I was saying to you the other day, in terms of comparing the consoles, it's certainly that I was so hyped up for it. It does feel more next gen, in new UI and the design and everything. But when I compare them in terms of this noise, I've certainly had so much more crashes as well on this PlayStation 5. It's little bits like that and I think, well, why are you buzzing? You shouldn't be buzzing. Like, as much as it's not, hindering it is hindering my experience, but you shouldn't be doing that noise. You shouldn't be crashing as much as you are.
Yes.
In terms of that sort of soured my sort of comparison of the two. So I'm hoping it just gets better over time and I start loving the PlayStation 5. But I've got to say, since day one or day 3, my PS5 experience has diminished.
Cool.
I am favouring. Yeah, I love that controller. The controller's fucking amazing, but the actual console as a technical
bit of kit,
there's something ain't right. It's crashing too much, and it's not even like crashing to the dashboard and I can carry on.
No.
I've had this console a day, and the first day I played Spider-Man. It crashed so hard that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't press any button. I couldn't press nothing. I literally had to pull the power lead out the back, turn it back on, and it went, you let it crash, and now I've got to rebuild the database. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So it's been out a month now. Patch it. Fucking patch it.
But, bastards.
The trouble is, this is going to be the console that has the better games. We're going to get better fucking games. We've got a great controller with fucking incredible haptic feedback.
Yeah.
Just stop making a buzz at me and stop crashing, and you'll be back on top.
Yes, well, it'll be interesting to see whether that does solve itself, but I think that will draw to close this chapter of research. I think a lot of people out there are thanking you for the research, because we had tons of comments coming through the YouTube channel when we put it up as its own separate clip, and it seemed like other people were also getting fixated on it, and people just want to know whether theirs is broken, and it sounds like it's just how it is, unfortunately.
No, that's it. No, that's what I want. Closing thoughts on this for the fans. Thank you for getting in contact and that. But yeah, please don't fixate like I did. It's silly too. This is just how the console is.
Yeah.
It's not a defect. Console isn't broken. Carry on. Things I'm sure will get better. I know it's annoying,
Yes.
but that's just how it is.
Yeah. And to those that were on the video and commented, just an apology because I accidentally deleted it the other day.
Video.
Yeah, I was uploading a version of one of the podcasts, and then I was like, "Oh, it's on the wrong channel." Like it was meant to go on the Idle Game Chat channel, and I just deleted the top video, not really looking at it, and then I checked, and I was like, "Where's that fucking Core One video gone? Like the most successful thing we've done in months." And yeah, I'd fucking deleted it like a prat. So it's being re-uploaded as we speak. In the background, so apologies for those of you that commented. Remember, Green Smoke was one of the big players there.
Oh yeah.
So that's back up, and you'll probably be listening to this second part also on the main Dimp channel as a clip. So there you go.